The very first pictures are emerging from India's rover on Earth's satellite.
In a world where the mysteries of space have always captivated our imagination, a recent event has once again ignited our curiosity about the moon. India, a rising power in space exploration, recently achieved a remarkable feat, landing a spacecraft on the moon on August 23rd. As India embarks on its lunar research journey, there are lingering questions that always seem to find their ways into conversations about the moon. Are we alone in the universe? Could the moon be a hotspot for extraterrestrial activity, as some have theorized? Is there evidence of alien civilizations, hidden artifacts, or secrets waiting to be uncovered? Join us on an expedition to decode the mysteries surrounding our neighboring celestial body. On August 23rd, 2023, a historic moment unfolded as India achieved a remarkable feat in space exploration, marking itself as the first nation to land on the moon's elusive South Pole. As the Chandrayaan-3 gently touched down on lunar soil, the world watched in awe, and back on Earth, Mission Control erupted in jubilant cheers. This achievement is not merely a scientific milestone, it's a matter of immense national pride for India. Their lunar touchdown came just 3 days after Russia faced a setback in a similar lunar mission, dealing a blow to the Kremlin's ambitions to assert its superpower status. But why all the buzz about the moon's South Pole? Well, it's a region of great strategic significance. Scientists have long speculated about the presence of ice in this area, which could potentially serve as a vital resource for future human settlements. Think fuel, oxygen, and even drinking water. In essence, it's a potential gold mine for mining operations and establishing a foothold for humanity beyond Earth. However, landing in this lunar neighborhood is no easy feat. The South Pole is notorious for its challenging terrain, far tougher than other parts of the moon. It's a bumpy landscape, marred with craters, and sunlight is a rare commodity. Achieving a smooth landing here is an extraordinary accomplishment in itself. India's journey to the South Pole began on July 14th, when the Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft, aptly named Moon Vehicle in Sanskrit, embarked on its mission from Earth. Meanwhile, Russia launched its lunar mission, Lunar 25, less than a month later, taking a faster and more direct route to the moon. The race was on, with projections putting Russia on the lunar surface first, on August 21st. However, India's meticulous preparations paid off. On August 23rd, they successfully touched down on the moon's South Pole, a momentous achievement that reverberated across the globe. India now joins an exclusive club, becoming the 4th country in the world to reach the moon, following in the footsteps of the United States, Russia, and China. Beyond the pride and prestige, India's lunar success is expected to open up new opportunities. They're likely to receive offers from other space agencies and foreign countries to launch commercial satellites, promising to be a significant source of revenue for the nation. Why Russia and India want to be first? The moon has long been a stage for international competition, and it's fascinating to see how space exploration has been intertwined with global politics and economics. Back in 1970, Russia made history by sending the first rover to the moon. This achievement marked the pinnacle of the space race between the United States and the Soviet Union during the tense Cold War era. However, since those heady days of lunar exploration, Russia has been notably absent from the lunar landscape. Fast forward to recent times, and Russia's lunar ambitions were rekindled. They aimed to return to the moon, but the stakes were unusually high. This mission came more than 18 months after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which resulted in Western sanctions. These sanctions complicated Russia's space collaborations with Europe and the United States, as they had to navigate a complex web of restrictions. In the past, Russia had been a key partner in various international space projects. However, many of these collaborations had to come to an end due to the geopolitical situation. Moreover, technology export bans prevented Russia from acquiring electronics and other critical components from European nations that had previously supported its space endeavors. This lunar mission held tremendous significance for India. It wasn't just about scientific exploration, it had political and financial motivations too. A successful mission could serve as a major boost to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's election campaign. India's space agency operates on a relatively modest budget, and recent cuts have made their operations even more challenging. To put things in perspective, NASA's budget for 2023 dwarfs India's space funding. India was keen to foster foreign collaborations, especially in joint ventures for launching commercial satellites, which could help offset their budget constraints. Success on the lunar stage could elevate India's position in the global space race, particularly in Asia. It would reinforce India's status as a global space power, potentially placing it ahead of countries like Japan and South Korea, and just behind China. Meanwhile, Russia still has aspirations in space, with lunar missions like Lunar 26 and Lunar 27 on the horizon. However, these plans depend on access to Western electronics and technology, a significant hurdle as long as sanctions remain in place. In the grand scheme of the global space race, this successful Indian lunar mission reflects the ever-evolving dynamics of international politics, economics, and scientific exploration. It showcases how nations navigate complex geopolitical landscapes to reach for the stars. How India is about to take over the moon. On July 14th, the Indian Space Research Organization embarked on its third lunar mission, Chandrayaan-3. The payload of their powerful Mark III launch vehicle was the Vikram lander, containing a multitude of scientific experiments and a reattempt of the Pragyan rover, a duplicate of the one lost during the Chandrayaan-2 mission's ill-fated moon landing in September 2019. Chandrayaan-2, despite its achievements, encountered a significant setback during its descent. The previous mission's primary goal was similar to the one Chandrayaan-3 aimed to accomplish: land the Pragyan rover on the lunar surface, specifically at the South Pole. The objective was to study the region's topography and potentially search for water ice, crucial for future lunar exploration. Chandrayaan-2 had encountered trouble during its descent when the Vikram lander started veering off course. Tragically, it crashed before touchdown due to a software glitch that overwhelmed its programming. This failure, while disappointing, highlighted the complexity and challenges of lunar landings. Unlike the Apollo 11 mission, where Neil Armstrong manually guided the lunar module, Chandrayaan-2's lander lacked this option. However, the ramifications of this failure extended beyond the disappointment of not landing successfully. The Chandrayaan missions were designed not only to explore the moon, but also to demonstrate India's capabilities to transport payloads for other countries to the lunar surface. India had already secured agreements with NASA and Japan's space agency JAXA, showcasing their potential as a reliable partner in lunar endeavors. The significance of Chandrayaan-3's landing zone at the lunar South Pole is tied to its demonstration of ISRO's capabilities to potential collaborators. This is particularly evident in ISRO's signing of the Artemis Accords, a set of principles aimed at guiding future space exploration efforts in a collaborative and sustainable manner. Additionally, the design of the Pragyan rover itself reflected the specific goals of these missions. It wasn't built to endure the harsh lunar night or survive for extended periods. Instead, it was engineered to operate during the 14-day lunar day, utilizing solar power and managing the challenges of the moon's unique environment. Ultimately, India's space endeavors, exemplified by the Chandrayaan missions, showcase the complexities of lunar exploration. These missions aren't just about scientific discovery, but also about demonstrating technical prowess, forging international partnerships, and playing a role in the unfolding narrative of humanity's expansion beyond our home planet. The Indian Space Research Organization has set its sights on the moon, not just for scientific exploration, but as a proving ground for its ability to deliver hardware safely and affordably. Chandrayaan-3, their latest lunar mission, exemplifies this approach, and it's impressively cost-effective, with a budget of around $73 million. This budget efficiency is even more remarkable when you consider that it includes not only the rover, but also a host of experiments that can be carried out by the lander. Chandrayaan-3 was carefully planned, funded and constructed with necessary fixes and some minor design changes from its predecessor, Chandrayaan-2. The primary goal is to demonstrate ISRO's capability to reach the moon and gather valuable data for NASA's Artemis program. What sets Chandrayaan-3 apart from its predecessors is the construction of the mission. While Chandrayaan-2 featured an orbiter, the third mission opted for a stripped-down propulsion stage in its place. This stage's purpose is to transport the lander and rover into a lunar parking orbit. The decision to forego another orbiter wasn't due to a lack of need. In fact, Chandrayaan-2's orbiter was a valuable experiment in its own right, equipped with instruments and high-resolution cameras to monitor the landing site. Since the Chandrayaan-2 orbiter is still functional, there was no need to send another for Chandrayaan-3. This choice helped reduce the mission's overall cost, though the fundamental structure of the lander and rover remains the same. One of the striking aspects of ISRO's lunar missions is their reliability. Prior to Chandrayaan-2, they had never lost a payload from a geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle, Mark III launched mission. Every flight of their LVM-3 rocket has been successful, showcasing their exceptional engineering and launch capabilities. Additionally, ISRO's approach to reaching the moon is deliberate and safe, using slow orbit-raising burns, which take over 37 days but are highly efficient and reliable. ISRO's willingness to learn from their failures and adapt to solve problems is a hallmark of their success. They took the lessons from Chandrayaan-2's difficulties and applied them to Chandrayaan-3, demonstrating their commitment to continuous improvement. With a solid plan, a reliable vehicle, and the invaluable experience gained from previous missions, ISRO was well-positioned for the success of Chandrayaan-3, building on its impressive track record in space exploration. China's moon rover spots cube-shaped mystery hut on lunar far side. As we anticipate receiving images from the Chandrayaan-3 mission, it's important to highlight a noteworthy discovery made by China's Yutu-2 rover during its exploration of the mysterious far side of the moon. This intriguing find, whimsically referred to as a moon hut, owing to its distinctive appearance, presents an image of a perfect cube resting serenely in the lunar void. This cube gracefully captures the lunar light, casting an unusual shadow across the rugged lunar terrain. This unexpected encounter unfolded as Yutu-2 embarked on its 36th Lunar Day excursion, traversing the otherworldly von Karman crater. The rover's moment of astonishment was recorded and shared via Our Space, a Chinese media outlet closely tied to the prestigious China National Space Administration. The cube-shaped enigma, tantalizingly distant yet distinctly visible, gripped Yutu-2's attention from a mere 80 meters away, akin to the length of a football field. With utmost patience, the rover embarked on a lunar pilgrimage, a 2 to 3 month odyssey to uncover the secrets held by this peculiar lunar feature. It's important to note that the term mystery hut was driven purely by the object's beguiling semblance. It's not a literal shelter, but rather a celestial riddle begging to be unraveled. Experts at space.com speculate that beneath its mysterious appearance, this unusual object could be a massive rock, possibly a remnant from a significant impact event in the past, now exposed to the harsh lunar environment. Alternatively, it may serve as evidence of extraterrestrial activity on the moon. This revelation shines a spotlight on China's ambitious space endeavors. Yutu-2's sojourn on the far side of the moon was part of the Chang'e 4 mission, a remarkable achievement that continues to unravel lunar mysteries as it navigates treacherous lunar terrain, akin to a daring mountaineer scaling lunar peaks. As we watch in awe, the mysteries of the cosmos unfold, with each discovery propelling humanity into a thrilling new era of space exploration, led by nations determined to conquer the celestial unknown. Mysterious rocket crash on moon baffles scientists. In yet another perplexing occurrence that has left scientists puzzled, NASA scientists are currently grappling with a perplexing enigma, a peculiar rocket that recently impacted the lunar surface. The rocket crash was a dramatic spectacle, resulting in an explosion that was observable through telescopes on Earth. This event illuminated the moon's nocturnal expanse with a celestial display that seemed otherworldly, captivating the curiosity of astronomers across the globe. a reminder that the lunar surface is more dynamic than it may appear at first glance. Over time, it's been pelted with countless meteorites and asteroids, leaving behind a lunar landscape adorned with craters. These craters often offer a glimpse into the moon's tumultuous past. But here's the kicker. This rocket crash didn't just create two craters, it disrupted the moon's geological stability. Scientists have been monitoring seismic activity on the moon ever since the crash, and they've detected subtle, yet unmistakable moonquakes. It's as if the moon itself is groaning, trying to tell us something. These moonquakes have sent ripples through the scientific community, sparking debates about whether the rocket carried something extraordinary, something that, upon impact, triggered this lunar awakening. The international intrigue surrounding this event is reminiscent of a Cold War-era spy thriller. Nations around the world have been huddled in secret meetings, with diplomats and space agencies swapping conspiracy theories like trading cards. Did a clandestine space mission go awry? Was it a prototype from a secret space program? The speculation is rampant, and the truth remains tantalizingly out of reach. Meanwhile, amateur astronomers have joined the quest for answers. They've turned their telescopes toward the moon, scouring the surface for any clues or anomalies. It's a testament to human curiosity and the collective desire to unravel the cosmos's mysteries. As we continue to ponder this lunar enigma, one thing is certain. This rocket crash has ignited a new era of lunar exploration and collaboration among scientists, space agencies, and stargazers. The moon, once a symbol of mystery, now conceals an even deeper enigma, and humanity is eager to unravel it. Nonetheless, this occurrence is not unique. It leads us to the theory of a hollow moon. The hollow moon theory explained. November 20th, 1969, was a historic day in human space exploration. As Apollo 12's commander Charles Conrad Jr. and lunar module pilot Alan Bean soared back towards their command module, they made a deliberate move that would send shockwaves through both the moon and scientific circles. Rather than letting their launch vehicle drift aimlessly in space, they chose to guide it back to the lunar surface. This was no accident. It was a meticulously aimed deorbit, a bold move that would yield astonishing results. They separated from the launch vehicle and purposefully crashed it close to their lunar base, where a seismograph was positioned, ready to record the impact. But what happened next was beyond anyone's expectations. The moon, which had always been considered a cold, lifeless rock, vibrated. It rang out like a massive cosmic bell, and this weird reverberation continued for over an hour. It was an early hint at the moon's hidden secrets. Dr. Werner von Braun, NASA's head at the time, was intrigued. He saw an opportunity with Apollo 13 to learn more about this phenomenon. So they deliberately crashed a heavier part of the rocket into the lunar surface, and this time, the moon's response was even more astonishing. It resonated like a gong for over 3 hours and to a depth of more than 20 miles. This defied all expectations and continues to puzzle scientists today. The implications are profound. The moon's unusual reaction suggests it might not be the solid mass we've long believed it to be. Instead, it raises the tantalizing possibility that significant portions of the moon are hollow. But here's the kicker. A hollow moon is not a natural occurrence. It implies artificial intervention. Carl Sagan, a renowned scientist and astronomer, once defined our understanding of celestial bodies' composition in the universe. He asserted that a natural satellite, like the moon, could not be hollow. Yet the moon's persistent vibrations challenge this conventional wisdom. Why would a celestial body vibrate like this unless it had hollow spaces within? This raises the astonishing possibility that the moon, or at least parts of it, might be artificial. If this is indeed the case, it suggests that someone or something hollowed out portions of the moon intentionally. It's a cosmic mystery that defies our understanding of the moon's formation and perhaps even the nature of our place in the universe. Redefining space launch infrastructure. In another fascinating development in the space race, SpaceX's Boca Chica site in Texas is making remarkable progress. Important steps have been completed, showing how SpaceX works hard to explore space more. One big achievement was putting in a big steel plate for a new water system under the launch area. This system cools and protects the launch site when rockets take off. On June 29th, SpaceX showed this big plate they made, a sign they were getting ready for launches. Before this, they had put other parts of the water system nearby. They were also filling the space under the launch area with concrete and fixing parts in place. They quickly set up this system with tubes for water in just a few hours. Some parts were close by, ready to be added. But there's more to do before they can fully test the system. They need to cover the metal bars with concrete and let it dry. SpaceX will probably do some small tests while they wait, like checking for leaks in the water pipes. They're making changes all over the site too. They added stairs to the tower in case the elevator broke. They also reconnected the arm that helps with fueling the ship. This matches Elon Musk's idea of making the ship taller for hot staging. The changes show how well SpaceX can adapt and improve. Even with these successes, they still need to deal with rules, the environment, and testing before the next launch. SpaceX is careful to keep things safe and efficient in space exploration, which keeps getting better. Thanks for watching another episode of Voyager. While you are still here, make sure to click the video on your screen for more quality content.